Okay, here we are. We are one away from 1600. So somebody please click that subscribe button. I definitely should tweet this out that we're live. I didn't even say to anyone that we were going live. And I'm not going to just have it on this screen the entire time of the live stream. I do have some other things I want to talk about and discuss, but it would be nice to hit that milestone of 1600 subscribers. So yeah, if someone would go ahead and click that, it would, just make my day. And yeah, we'll probably do this again. Probably not at 17 or 1800, but probably at 2000, right? That's sort of more of a nice round number, get up to 1999. So hopefully somebody will click the button to get us to 1600 subscribers, which would be awesome. Okay, so just bear with me here for a second as I open up the uh, next few things that I would like to discuss here on the live stream. And I'll get Yahoo Finance open and take a look at some of the things that are going on in the markets today. So share this tab instead. And we should now be sharing the Yahoo Finance page. Yes, we are. Okay, good. Here's what Elon Musk needs to do to earn his Tesla trillion. Okay, are we interested in the Tesla trillion? Not exactly. What I do want to look at is Duolingo, because something happened to Duolingo in aftermarket trading yesterday. So you'll see it is now currently trading. The market is still open. It's 3 o'clock Eastern time and is currently trading at basically $200 even, $200 and some change. And this is on the NASDAQ and in USD, American dollars. But if we switch over to the 5-day chart, look at what happened here. So yesterday at close, Duolingo was trading at $267 roughly. And then in after hours trading, it went all the way down to, I think this morning before market opened, I saw it at around 194. It looks like it may have even dipped even lower today. Yeah, as low as 182, 183 today in daily trading, and has rallied a little bit back up to, like I said, now trading at that $200 level. But recent news: earnings live, block stock drops after earnings miss. Why Duolingo crashed today from the Motley Fool? So yeah, Duolingo. So those of you who don't know, I'm sure many of you do, and many of you don't know, is that for almost a full year now, I'm on a close to 365-day streak. I have been learning languages on Duolingo, and about 2 weeks ago, they did make a change, and the change was definitely for the worse. It was such a horrible change that I began looking for other language learning apps. And yeah, Duolingo just they I'm sure they upset a lot of users like myself. It was just it went from already not the greatest app in the world to an extremely poor app. Now, I don't know if that is what led to like the stock price crashing and why the earnings report was so bad. But however, it's just when your stock drops by over $60 in aftermarket trading, there is clearly something wrong, something not right. So I don't know, you know, sure companies miss earnings reports, and even when they miss by quite a bit, on an earnings report, it usually does not cause a $60 per share uh, drop in the price. So we'll keep watching Duolingo over the next week, next few weeks, next month, and see if it is able to recover. And I am still using it every day. I'm learning German, French, Italian, Spanish, and I've even done a few lessons in Mandarin Chinese. It's yeah, yeah. So right here live, they're down below 200 again. So we'll keep, like I said, we'll keep an eye on Duolingo and see what happens. And then the other thing that I've noticed recently is Bitcoin. Right there, it is right there. Is it going to? Yes, there we go. Okay, Bitcoin in USD currently at $103,000, 1,003, 346 and 2 cents. But it looks like it dipped. It did dip below 100 grand. There it is. Looks like this morning at 7:49 a.m. was down to 99,343. So it has been recovering since then, I guess, in a little bit of a recovery mode. But just over the last 5 days, it has gone from, well, it was only at 107. So let's even take a look at the 1 month chart of Bitcoin. So a month ago, close to the all-time highs at 123, 121, and down to 110 here, then back up to 115, down to 106 here, up to 108, 110 range, down in that 107, 108 range, up to the 115 range, and then down and down and down. And so, what is happening to Bitcoin? So, I did have a friend mention how Michael Saylor is over leveraged in Bitcoin. And I was like, well, Saylor being over leveraged in Bitcoin is nothing new. So, and obviously he does. Now we're on the sixth month chart, and it's still a lot of red, right? So, but of course, you just keep zooming out and you start to see the green. So, year to date, so January 1st, it was at 94. So nearly a year later. And here, what is this? 4/8, so around April 8th, down to 76. And then where was that all-time high just a month or so ago? I believe 126, 198 was the all-time high of Bitcoin. So, but again, you just zoom out, you zoom out, you zoom out, like, you know, go all the way back to, even though this says all, it's only going back to what, 2014. And the price was 300 to $400, $465. So, I mean, I think that there's a lesson in there with not just Bitcoin, sort of all stocks. You zoom out and you give it that time horizon of 10, 15, 20 years. And hopefully, if the company, or in this case, the crypto is gaining properly, but obviously, usually a company, you give it that 10, 15, 20-year time horizon, and hopefully they are. Oh, what's going on with the screen here? Can we still see this? Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So, I mean, I think we all know that Bitcoin will increase again, right? It will go up, it will go down, and where will it be a year from now? Will it be at 150? Will it be at 225? Will it be at 95? Nobody knows. And but where will it be 5 years from now? I guess is one of the really big questions of Bitcoin. Let me know in the comments what else we would like to look at today. So we are getting closer to the end of the trading day, the end of the trading week. It's almost like the weekly close live. Remember when Joseph and I did the weekly close live every week? That was a lot of fun, but we had to stop doing that for a few reasons, unfortunately. So the S&P on the 1-day chart looks like a bit of a red day, but only down by 2 points. That's really nothing. Um, the Dow, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up by 22 points. Again, not huge gains. The Nasdaq, the Nasdaq down by 100. I mean, that's, I guess, a moderate loss, but still not anything overly significant. Yeah, the whole 5 days is just at around 100 points. The 1 month, it is up by. I'm sorry, this number up here is just showing the day, isn't it? I thought when I clicked on the chart, it was showing me it was uh, coinciding, but it isn't. So, yeah, up by, I guess, a few hundred points over the course of the month. 22,718. So say probably around 200. It was up to, looks like the high. No, it's not giving me the number there. Okay. Well, we won't fight with that. Now, I am on yahoofinance.com. Let me open, because I obviously everyone knows I'm Canadian. I'd like to take a look at the TSX, but it's not showing me that. Europe, Asia, crypto, rates, commodities, currencies, the euro, the yen, the pound. Okay, Canadian dollar. That's interesting. If you're Canadian. So yeah, right now, one US dollar buys you $1.40 Canadian, and one Canadian dollar gets you about 74 cents US. So great time for Americans to travel to Canada and take advantage of the exchange rate. Not a great time for Canadians traveling south. And that has nothing to do with the political situation, entirely speaking economically. It's just not a great time when you're basically losing 25% of your buying power just right out from the exchange rate. So I wonder if I can just type TSX in here. Will it come up? What am I going to get here? Yeah, I believe this is the TSX Composite Index. So also down a little bit today, 40 points. Sort of that's, next to nothing in the grand scheme of things. But 29,000 has to be close to an all-time high, actually, for the TSX. And where were we within the last? Yeah, we did go over 30,000 earlier this week. And the 1 month chart, again, the high of 30,000. And again, zoom out. Look where the TSX was 6 months ago. 24,971. So it has gained quite a bit since. Now that is actually since the last federal election, and I do not know. I mean, whether you like or dislike Mark Carney, I can't really say anything that the Liberals have done so far, that Mark Carney has done so far, would really um, be an economic driver of moving the needle from 24,000 or just under 25,000 to over 30,000. So I guess just some interesting food for thought when you take everything all into consideration. Yeah, that's sort of where the markets are, what's going on with things in life. And let's see, has anyone clicked that subscribe button yet? N- no, we're still at 15,999. So someone please click the subscribe button. Oh, I thought I hit share that screen. Hold on a second. We're trying to share a screen here. That's the one. Share that screen. Share that screen like that. There we go. Oh, like that. There we go. 1,599. So yeah, click that subscribe button and get us to that 1,600 number. And of course, I would love to see the channel grow more. I know I haven't been doing a lot of interviews and live streams and such as of late. I've had a lot of other things going on in my life. But with that said, I do hope to get um, more more content out there, more people on the podcast, more discussions about politics. As we have kind of shifted the podcast format to being both about passive income and politics. As you've probably seen the name, the passive income and political podcast is kind of have and political there in parentheses. And yeah, don't forget to hit the like button as well. You know, that obviously helps with the YouTube algorithm. And what else is there to talk about today? So the markets have long been closed in Europe for the week, as it's what time would it be in England right now? So this is the FTSE in London, and again a little bit of a red day, down by 53 points. Overall, the week looks like the week overall is obviously a little bit red as well. Had quite the dip there on the 4th. Would that would have been Tuesday, I believe, right? Yeah, I think so. I think so. All the way down to 9,500, and then had a nice little run up on Wednesday to 97.80. Again, we'll zoom out on a month. Overall, the month has been fairly positive over there in London with the FTSE gaining some traction. And we'll take a look at the 6 month as well. So also the 6 month, pretty good gain on the FTSE, going from 8,500 points all the way up to now at around the 9,700 mark, just shy of 9,700. And then Paris, I believe this is Paris, right? Yes, Paris. And also a red day, but just on the red side. It looks like markets around the world have just been slightly red today, so nothing out of the ordinary, nothing to be panicked about. No, it should be zero panic selling over 15 to 50 points around the world on these different markets. Also, a big drop on Tuesday. Did something happen in Europe on Tuesday that I'm not aware of, or was there just is this just nothing new? And then also a little bit of a recovery on Wednesday. Actually, they're down even more today than so they didn't really make the comeback that London and New York and Toronto did over the week. But I mean, again, just normal markets, right? Just normal markets. Nothing too crazy. The 1 month also a little bit red. The 6 month we got some green. Seems like a fair bit of volatility on the Paris market. Now, honestly, this is a market I rarely, if ever, look at. I do not know. I couldn't name a single company that trades on the CAC in Paris, and probably I could say the same for the DAX in Germany. Um, I probably couldn't name a single company that trades on the DAX. If I had to guess, I would guess like German automakers, Mercedes, or something would probably be my best guess. That's probably a pretty solid guess. Um, and again, a bit more of a red day in Germany, 164 points, but again, normal market movement, nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever. The 5 day, kind of same thing. Again, same as London and Paris. They had this drop on Tuesday, and then some recovery, and then similar to Paris, they didn't quite make the recovery that London did. Let's take a look at Asia. Why not? Japan. Japan was down by 600 points today, and 50,000. Wow, that's a lot of volume. Same thing. What happened on Tuesday? Did I miss something major on Tuesday? Did the same thing happen in the North American markets that I just didn't even see when I was looking at them? And actually, Japan continued that slide into Wednesday by the looks of things, and then made their recovery more into Thursday, and overall closed the week down a little bit from where did they begin the week at 52,000, so down a couple thousand points. But the 1 month, a green, green, green. So starting the 1 month chart out at 47, 49,000 volume area, getting as high as 52,000 or so. The 6 month chart also, there's just been these major gains around the world in the last 6 months. So hopefully everyone's just, basically sitting on your hands, like just let your investments ride, and hopefully your investments, if you're picking individual companies, are riding this wave up, whether they're on in the Asian markets or North America or Europe or wherever they happen to be. So the Hang Seng, we'll take a look at the Chinese market. The 1 day chart, same thing, a bit of red, down 240 points. The 5 day, again, they had this same drop on Tuesday. I'm gonna have to go back and look at North America to see if they had the same drop on Tuesday, and then that same recovery Wednesday and Thursday, hitting a little bit of a high point on Thursday, and staying just above water, staying just above the green for the 5 day in China. The 1 month actually is red for China, so okay. And the 6 month, again, the 6 month is very, very impressive looking on all of these charts, right? You just just to zoom out and look at that 6 month, and you make yourself feel better about yourself. So can we find can we find what is the Australian market called? Australian. I have Australia spelled wrong. Australian stock market. Stock talk, stock market. Um, Australia, Australian. It's I believe me, I do know how to spell Australia. Recently viewed. Okay, I know there is a stock market in Australia, but I can't seem to find it here. It would be nice if they added more in under the US, like if they added obviously the TSX is Canadian, but if they called it North America and put in the TSX and added Australia here, or Oceania or something. Okay, we're not going to find the Australian stock market by the looks of it, but we will go back to looking at North America because I want to see. Oh, I'm retarded. I didn't stop sharing this screen. I've been okay. I'm sorry, everyone. I am so sorry about that. Let me share this tab instead. Oh, wow. Wow, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. So, okay, so here we are back on yahoofinance.ca. I searched for Australian stock market, couldn't find it, but they're recently viewed. So we'll go back and we'll look at these again so you guys can see what I was looking at, and loading the chart here for the Hang Seng in China. A little bit of a red day, down 244 points. The 5 day chart, green overall. This dip on on Tuesday, recovery on Wednesday, staying slightly above green for the week. The Chinese chart is actually red for the past 30 days, but green. When we look at all the green charts from around the world, like 6 months, the past 6 months have been very good everywhere in the world. So, recently viewed, we also looked at, okay, before we go to Europe, we also looked at Japan. So the Nikkei down 600 points today, which is sounds like a lot, but isn't when you see 1.19%, right? It's just small. It's normal trading. It's nothing to get too concerned about. The same pretty big drop on Tuesday with the recovery Wednesday and into Thursday. The 1 month in Japan nicely green, and this very similar 6 month chart for every market in the world that I've looked at. So just going to make sure that we are all looking at. Okay, I do have the proper pages shared now. So, and then we were looking at um, Europe as well, Germany, the DAX in, I believe it's Berlin. That would make the most sense, right? Uh, 164 sounds like a lot, but then you look at 0.69%, next to nothing, right? The 5 day chart, this similar drop on Tuesday. The 1 month, a little bit red, and the 6 month, a little more volatility in the German 6 month chart than the other charts we've looked at around the world. Interesting, kind of interesting. So then we were also looking at CAC in Paris, the 1 day chart in Paris, very similar thing, slightly red, 0.18%, like next to nothing, right? Next to nothing. The 5 day chart, a little bit red in Paris. This same drop on Tuesday. What happened on Tuesday that I missed? There must have been some event on Tuesday that happened that I just didn't register with me. But similar recovery as the others on Wednesday and Thursday, and then closing the 5 day slightly red in Paris. The 1 month chart also a little bit red in Paris, and the 6 month chart actually looking a little bit more like that German chart with some volatility, but overall still, a relatively nice gain from 7,600 points up to, as of close today, 79, well, 7,950. It shows right there because obviously the European markets are closed. As high as 8,200 around October 20th by the looks of it. And of course, we're looking at the FTSE in England, in London, the 1 day chart saying a little bit of red, but 0.55%, next to nothing, right? Next to nothing. And, overall, we'll look at the 5 day. That same thing happened everywhere in the world on Tuesday that apparently I simply missed. And then recovery on Wednesday and Thursday. The 1 month chart in London showing some nice upward trend in the 1 month chart, 9,400 up to, looks like as high as just shy of 9,800 points in London. So, and then I was looking here in Canada, and the 1 day chart in Canada down by 0.11%. So in the grand scheme of things, that's next to nothing, right? The 5 day chart. Yeah, so this happened, the drop happened here on Monday by the looks of it. No, or Tuesday. It does say 11.3. Interesting. Interesting. So no, the Canadian market seemed to have a drop on both Monday and Tuesday with that similar recovery from this week on the Thursday and Friday, and then another another drop here yesterday in the Canadian market in Toronto on the TSX. the Toronto Stock Exchange, and then recovery mode today. The 1 month chart, sort of all over the place, up and down, closing red for the last 30 days. But here's the 6 month chart for Canada, which, like I said, I wasn't. I have no idea if this has anything to do with Mark Carney since he's become prime minister. I really don't think so. I mean, they really haven't done anything. So, when I say they, I mean the Liberal government. There hasn't been any real new, um, bills passed or trade deals made or anything. He's just basically traveled around a lot. He's been to Asia and talked to other leaders. He's been to Europe several times and talked to other leaders. But as the saying goes, talk is cheap. And then in the United States, the S&P 500, same thing. Uh, the 1 day chart, 0.12 red. That's literally nothing. That's literally nothing, right? And the 5 day, a little bit red. The 1 month, a little bit red. And the 6 month, I think we'll see this similar in all the North American charts. The S&P 500 and the TSX had very similar climb over the last 6 months. And we'll quickly take a look at the Dow Jones, uh, down by 0.02%. Like, that's literally, if there had been one more trade at the end of the day, they could have been in the green today, probably. So that's, again, there's such minuscule percentages they were dealing with here, and slightly red for the week. Same thing here with that. Whatever happened on Tuesday, let me know in the comments if I missed something major on Tuesday. Like was there something that I should have been paying attention to that I just completely missed? And the 1 month and then the 6 month, very similar chart to Toronto and to the S&P. And finally, the Nasdaq in New York as well. So down by half a percentage point for the day. And then, down a little bit for the week, nothing major, and green for the month. And then that very similar North American chart to Toronto, the S&P, and the Dow. So for fun, let's take a look at the Russell. Why not? Hardly ever look at the Russell either. So this is in, yeah, Chicago. That's right. The Russell is in Chicago. And they're actually the only chart that we've looked at for the 1 day chart that is green today. Interesting. And but their 5 day is red. Okay. Same thing. Monday, Tuesday, something happened. The 1 month is red. And that very similar chart to Toronto and New York here in Chicago, where the 6 month is relatively green. Gold has been something crazy to watch as of late as well. So, yeah, let's look at this. Is that going to let me? Okay. $4,012 for an ounce of gold. Absolutely crazy. 1 day chart being green. So that's gold futures because it's showing December 25th. The 5 day is actually red on gold. The 1 month, I think we're going to have to really zoom out on gold because I want to take a look more than just the 6 month. Look at this. So in June, is that right? June 15th was trading at around $3,100 to $3,200 and got as high October 20th again, as high as 4,300. Wow. Year to date, so beginning of the year, 2,600, and then again that high of 4,300 on October 20th. Crazy. So the 1-year chart, so last November 26, let's take a look at the 5-year. All the way back in 2020, November of 2020, gold was trading at 1,847 US dollars. So, yeah, gold has been outperforming, I think, everything this year, including obviously including Bitcoin and the markets overall. So, if you're into gold or if you have been into gold for a while, you're doing well. And yeah, that is amazing. So, keep going with the gold and keep it up with the gold. And we are still at 1,599. So somebody please click that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,600 during the live stream. Okay, we did it again. I don't know what's going on. I think something's going on with this program or with Restream because I hit shared this tab instead, and then I come back to the Restream home screen and see that it's not actually sharing. So, and then it shares in the format that I don't want it to share in. But that's where we're at, 1,599. So we'll keep going because the title of this live stream is live streaming until we hit 1,600. So I just hope somebody comes in here and, does me a solid and clicks that subscribe button. That would be very, very amazing. I am going to tweet this out. I never did do that in the beginning, so let's see if I can maybe get some people in here from X. And yeah, we're live. And when I say we, I mean me. If anyone would like to join the live, I can probably send you a link for that as well. So we're live. Okay. We'll see if anyone actually sees my post on X, but it's possible. What else is going on in the markets today? So, let's find some more fun stuff to look at as we're coming into the markets closed fully for the week. Obviously, the Asian and European markets are closed, but we've got about 21 more minutes in Toronto and New York. Today is Friday, right? Yeah, right. Today is definitely Friday. Yes, Friday. It's for the week. Okay. What else should we look at? Oh, you know what I haven't looked at in a long time is Coin Market Cap, but not just Bitcoin. I've looked at Coin Market Cap quite a bit, but only to look at Bitcoin. So let's take a look at other cryptocurrencies just for fun. Share this tab instead. Now, is it going to actually share that tab instead? Did it do it correctly? That's the thing about live streaming. You just never know. So, okay. So number one, Bitcoin. Do we accept all cookies and continue? Sure. So as always, Bitcoin is the big daddy of cryptocurrency, number one. And as we've already looked, Bitcoin trading at 103, Ethereum still at number two, trading at 3,459 US dollars. I am curious, what is the all-time high of Ethereum? The all-time high of Ethereum should show me here. Doesn't it show me right here? 24 hours, all-time high. The all-time high is actually just shy of 5,000 for Ethereum, $4,953.73, if you can see that there. again, just making sure that, yeah, I am sharing the correct page, and you can see that we're talking about Ethereum. So the all-time high of Ethereum, $4,953. I find Ethereum gas fees to be insanely high, and so that is why I don't think, uh, Ethereum just doesn't seem like a good deal to me. Tether number 3, which, as we know, is just USDT tethered to the US dollar. It's at $1. It's always at $1. Coming in at number 4, XRP, $2.35. I am also curious, like, I used to hold quite a bit of XRP, and I wish I had held it because I basically, like so many of us, so often we sell too early. The all-time high of XRP, January 4th, 2018, 8 years ago, $3.84. Depressing, to be quite honest, for anyone who is an XRP believer. BNB number 5, $981. Coming in at number 6, Solana, $163. And then again, USDC just tethered or connected to the US dollar. So number 8, Tron. Wow, Tron has moved up there, 29 cents. The good old Dogecoin at 17 cents, just shy of 18 cents. Cardano at 58 cents. Hyperliquid, that's a new one. I haven't heard of that one before. We're down to number 11. Let's just go right through the top 20 or 25. Why not? Chainlink, 1610. Zcash, that's another one new to me, $683. Wow. Bitcoin Cash, 513. Stellar XLM, 29 cents. Athena USDE, 99 cents. USDE, that seems to also be tethered to the US dollar. Like that probably should be at $1. Unis, UNUSSED Leo. Okay, Leo, 924. Sui, 217. Litecoin, I think, is taking a bit of a tumble. I think Litecoin and Avalanche used to both be higher. Hedera, Monero, Shiba Inu. Oh, Shiba, how is it at 23 and the price is like, how can it have a market cap? Well, I guess just when you've got 589 trillion circulating supply at, like, what is that? Okay, so right there would be 1 penny. That's 1/10 of a penny. 1/100. So is that trading at 1/1000th of a penny? Is that right? Am I doing that math correctly? Dow at $1 and Polkadot at 320. I mean, if you've ever been to CoinMarketCap and scrolled like way down, I mean, not just the top 100, I mean, like scrolled over here to like page 94, right? Like, just why do these coins exist? Number 9,321, wrapped plasma. Who owns any wrapped plasma cryptocurrency and why? Or Utonic or wrapped ton. And why is BNB Max the number 9,318th cryptocurrency? Why is it trading at $978? Or why Merlin Chain 98,000? Kraken wrapped Bitcoin 98,000. So that's Kraken is their own crypto trading platform. So that's a wrapped Bitcoin. So they just have, you can buy a Bitcoin for 98 grand and then unwrap it and it's worth 103 grand. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Is that how that works? Who has wrapped Oasis at trading at 3/10? Is that right? That'd be 1 penny or 3 pence. So yeah, trading at 3/10 of a penny, staked near $4, P tokens, $305. Like, why? Why do these exist? Why? Like, why? Let's just randomly jump into minions. Why is there a? Oh my goodness! There's like exponents here because it's so worthless. It's like, look at how many zeros there are. Oh my goodness. Like, why is there a Minions cryptocurrency? Six Sigma Sports, the America Party. Okay. Is that another Elon thing? Dogecoin. Not Dogecoin. Dogecoin. My, oh my, oh my. Like, why do these exist? Somebody please let me know in the comments why there are 10,000 cryptocurrencies. Like, literally. Okay, we're back on the main page here where, everything here in the top 10 probably has a use case, even in the top 20, top 25, some type of use case. Obviously, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano, even Doge. And I guess you could probably make the argument for as well that there is a use case for all of these cryptos, whether it's, to use as an actual currency, whether it's international trade. Like, it's much easier to send crypto from one country to another than it is to, go to the bank and do some type of wire transfer or banking payment that way. But I'm just flabbergasted as to why there are all those ones we just looked at the bottom in the 10,000 area. Like, why do they exist? What is the point of all of those cryptos at the very end of coin market cap? It makes zero sense to me. So anyway, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, whether it's the top 10 cryptos or those useless ones at the bottom. Let me know what you're thinking. So, and I think we still have not hit 1600 on. Oh. We did it. We did it. Share this tab instead. Awesome. Okay. We have done it. Thank you to whoever clicked that subscribe button. It is truly appreciated. Yeah. All right. Now, next title, live streaming until we hit 1700. No. Just joking. Just joking. But I think it's been a pretty good live stream today. We've covered a lot of the markets around the world. We looked at Europe, we looked at Asia, we looked at North America, we looked at gold, we looked at cryptos. So a lot of fun things happening in the world of stock marketing, stock markets, and in crypto as well. So I think that's where we will end it for today. Thank you all so much for joining me on this live stream. I am super happy about somebody clicking that button and getting us to 1600. So I truly do appreciate that. Thank you for joining the Passive Income Posse. And I will see you guys again next time. Like I said, I am going to do my best to live stream more, get more interviews with other great investors and get their thoughts and opinions and ideas as well. And I know I've been, like I said, I've been slacking on that the last few months, but I have had quite a few other things going on in my life, as we all do. I know that's not an excuse. Everybody's got things going on in their life, and you kind of got to prioritize your time and definitely do what you need to do to get things done. So thank you all so much for joining me on this live stream, and we will see you again